If you want to see that somewhat embarrassing saga, you can go back through the playlist and recap that. Hello once again and welcome to the Guitar Foster Parent. I'm John McLain. I'm happy you've joined us today. Today is the final episode in our series on the Harmony 2814 restoration project, a guitar that we got from a collector some time ago who was kind of cleaning out his collection a little bit. This guitar had a pretty good coating of dust on it, hadn't been played in a long time, and so we have restored it. So today we're going to review some of the things we've done. We'll try to get to all of them, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to put this guitar into the hands of a deserving home that will play it forevermore and not put it in a closet. And that's the goal here at the Guitar Foster Parent. But first, I want to invite you, if you're new to the channel, to check out our trailer video where we talk a little bit about our mission here at the Guitar Foster Parent and what we do. And I also would like to invite you that if you enjoy the channel and would like to share it around or just have some decals, I have decals that are absolutely free for you that have the QR code for the channel. And then also we have the Guitar Foster Parent pick, which also has the QR code on the back for the channel. It's a great way to share the channel with your guitar playing friends and also to promote it and just have some stuff from us. And of course, depicted on our logo is the OG bass, which is hanging right behind me, the original project that inspired the work that we do here on this channel. So if you will send me an email to the address below, I would be happy to send some swag out to you free of charge, and would appreciate you doing that right now. I won't share your information at all, just need your address so I can mail it to you. And it's our gift to you for saying to say thanks for watching us here on the Guitar Foster Parent. Well, here she is, this really nice black and white Harmony 2814 guitar. We talked early on in the project about this guitar and how it is really very simple. This is a great starter learner guitar. For one thing, it's very lightweight. It is a full-scale guitar. It's not shortened. It's not a junior version or anything like that, but it's very lightweight. The body's very thin. It's small, and there's just not a lot going on here. So it's a very good guitar, I'd say, for a youth player, or maybe someone of smaller stature that would have an easier time wearing this. I mean, this guitar is light enough that you could wear this all day long, you know, if you're at a gig or something, and would never tire of it. Very, very simple electronics. No switching here, just two single coil pickups, volume and tone. Very, very simple setup. Kind of have a fixed bridge down here, so really not just a lot going on. However, this guitar did have a number of issues that we had to address, and so we'll review those right now. The first thing I noticed when we got this Harmony into our shop here was our tuners were just in terrible shape. They were very, very loose and would not hold the guitar in tune at all. One thing about tuners is you will often find, especially when you pull strings off of a guitar that have been under tension for some time, tuners will often be loose. If you wiggle the tuner like this and it feels like a loose tooth, there are a number of things that could be causing that. Doesn't necessarily mean the tuner is shot though. And so what I've done was I kept some of the older tuners. These are the original tuners that I took off of this Harmony. And I wanted to show you here in the video kind of what the inside of one of these looks like if you've never seen one. They'll usually have a cover of some kind that will cover up this to keep dirt and so forth out. But inside it's just a simple gear arrangement with a spiral gear driving tuner. Inside you'll see a screw right here that holds this gear on. Very often this screw will become loose, and when that happens, this tuning post, here's the post where the string goes, this tuning post will become loose, and you can see this one, well, you can't probably see it, I can certainly feel it, is wiggling. Sometimes you can put some tension on this. You don't want to snug it down really tight because then you'll bind the tuner. But get this good and hand tight, this screw, and then check and see if there's any slop in here. Sometimes you can get these things to tighten back up. This particular tuner it's okay, not super high quality to begin with, and there were a couple of these, and I don't remember which ones now, but there were a couple of these that I just felt like were really beyond repair. So what we did was we elected to go ahead and put a brand new set of really nice Grover tuners on this Harmony, and you can see the back right here. Really nice set of Grover Stratocaster style tuners. Tuners often get neglected. If a guitar will not stay in tune, okay, and this is assuming you're not, ragging on a tremolo bar or anything like that. That will knock even the best guitars out of tune after a while. But a guitar that you play and then you set it for a couple days and you come and it's just completely out of tune. Very often it's the tuners that are to blame, but we very often don't consider those tuners because they're just there and they just kind of work. So I always recommend every time you put on a new set of strings, check those tuners, give them a wiggle. Wiggle the posts, wiggle the handles, and just make sure that you don't have any slop. They should be almost completely tight. In fact, if they're good quality tuners, they should be very, very solid. They should tune very smoothly. They should turn smoothly. It should be very buttery feeling. If it's super loose or sloppy or wiggly, the guitar's probably never going to stay in tune for you. And so I would recommend first trying to fix them, or if you want to, you can go like we did and you can install a nice set of tuners. I love the Grover tuners. There's a number of quality brands. Pick one that you like and go for it. So brand new tuners on this Harmony. Next, we took apart the top and wanted to check out the electronics. Surprisingly, I did not find in the potentiometers any noise. Very often old dirty guitars, and especially if they're not super high-end like this. I mean, this is a very accessibly priced guitar. These were often sold in department stores back in the day. These potentiometers get dirty, and so they'll crackle. You've all heard a guitar that has a dirty potentiometer, dirty pot. These surprisingly turn very nicely. They don't wiggle hardly at all. They're pretty solid and they're nice and smooth. I don't hear any problems through the electronics. So we elected to keep the potentiometers. However, our input jack here was not making good contact, and so we installed a really nice multi-point jack in here and got that soldered up. So this input jack is nice and tight, and I'll show you. This is a tuner, but I'll show you just when you push this in, it is a very positive contact, and it is not coming out easily. You really have to pull it, which is good. You want the confidence of having that contact. And of course, in time, it will loosen up a little bit. At first, it's extremely stubborn, but it will loosen up in time. So that's been replaced. The pickups sounded great, found no dead spots or any bad sound in them, so we just cleaned them and kept them. And then the pick guard, we just cleaned up and replaced. So really the only business that we had to do inside electronically was our input jack. We also removed the bridge and the tailpiece. We checked those and readjusted the height of the bridge as we got down to business with our neck. And this was one place where we ran into a little bit of trouble. The truss rod was adjusted. We did that, but we discovered that the action was all wrong. And so we ended up putting some shims in our neck to change the angle of the neck to the body to give us the proper string height above the fretboard. So we did shim this guitar neck. Turned out really, really nicely, and if you're not looking for it, you'd never know it's there. If you look really carefully in that joint there, you might be able to pick that up on the video. But it's a charcoal gray, kind of black colored shim, blends in great with the guitar. No one will ever know, but it really gives it a much nicer angle and gives it much better playability. So we did that. Also, we replaced the nut on the guitar. The original nut on this guitar was broken. And in fact, I may not have kept it, but anyway, it was broken. And so what we did was we replaced it. But then when I grooved out the neck to check the other parts of the guitar, I got them too deep. I got the grooves too deep. If you want to see that somewhat embarrassing saga, you can go back through the playlist and recap that. So this guitar's actually had 2 new nuts put on it. This one is grooved to the correct depth. And it's a nice new bone nut that we've got installed in there. Fits nice and really, really has a nice playability. And of course, when we had the strings off, we also conditioned this fretboard was extremely dried out. So we put, I forget how many coats of oil I put on this fretboard, but it was quite a few. It took a lot of oil, but now it's got that nice rich luster back. Also polished the frets, sanded them down just a little bit, had to grind them some, and smoothed them down, and got some of the most of the grooves out. They're not perfect, but they're actually quite good. I think only the pickiest player would probably notice that there's really anything too much wrong with them. So that is kind of in a nutshell what we did on the guitar. Of course, we checked everything, make sure everything was snug and tight. So let me give you just kind of a look-see over. This is a Harmony model 02814 guitar. You can kind of see the light shining off of it. There's the headstock. Then we'll turn her upside down, let you see the back. Again, it's just a very nondescript, pretty plain guitar, but I would say this is a great guitar for a beginner because it's easy to learn, it's easy to operate, you don't have all the switches and buttons. It's just a guitar that plays nicely. And I will say this for it, it also sounds pretty darn good if you're going to play rhythm guitar, which is really what I think this is probably designed for in terms of a band. It's really just a good, solid, simple rhythm guitar. So what I'd like to do now, I'm going to plug it into the amplifier, and I'm going to use a couple of effects just to let you hear the guitar a little bit. Nothing fancy. As I've said many times, I'm far from a virtuoso guitar player. I'm a hobbyist. So if you make fun of my playing, do it in private and don't hurt my ego. But I'm going to plug it. First, I'm going to show you what it sounds like kind of in a softer chorus type effect, and then we'll add a little distortion to it and see how growly these pickups can get. So let's plug it into the Marshall valve state amplifier and see how she sounds. All right, so here we go, and we got this nice tight input jack, and it's good and no noise there. So I'm just going to show you just a couple. This is a chorus type effect. I've got the volume and the tone turned all the way up. Just so you know, and just to give you a nice D chord. Has a really kind of a nice ring to it. So really nice. Plays very good. I've got, by the way, we put on all of our guitars Ernie Ball's Super Slinky strings. Pretty standard. Most players like these. They're pretty light. This guitar has that. And so yeah, let's change to this little distortion and see how it sounds with a little distortion added in. All right, so we'll grab our guitar foster parent pick. And so this is kind of a sound that you would have for, maybe a rhythm guitar and a little harder sound. So it's like an A bar chord. So, it's just kind of got your basic. So it really sounds pretty good. Now, one thing that I will point out about the guitar, and I'm going to unplug it, you'll probably notice that it's just the way the guitar is designed. There is a great amount of distance between the strings and the body right here, and the pickups are pretty high up off the strings. And this is really kind of how this guitar is designed. There's really no way to lift these pickups really any higher than this, and in a practical sense. It's just the way the guitar is designed. And really, these pickups are not the loudest in the world. I would not call them hot pickups. These are the originals, by the way, and you could certainly add in, some more expensive pickups that are stronger and hotter, if you will. I just really don't think it's necessary for this little guitar. I think it's designed to play just like it's designed. And so I just decided not to do that for this and just let it be. And I think, it's a great, this is not a guitar that you're probably going to see in an arena setting. This is a great learning guitar. It's a great guitar to travel with because, again, you toss this in a gig bag, it's flat, it doesn't weigh hardly anything, and it would be a great one to take along. Or you could use this in a band in certain applications. I mean, who says you can, right? But this is the Harmony 2814. All done. We've done all the damage we can do to her. And so now the question remains, where's this guitar going to wind up? Where is its forever home? Well, if you'll send me an email, you can nominate someone or even an organization that will be willing to take in this guitar. The only requirement is this, that it will end up in the hands of someone that will play it. It just needs to be played. This guitar was in a collection and hadn't been touched in years, it looked like. And it had all the telltale signs of sitting in a closet or sitting in the corner and not being played. This guitar deserves to be played. That's our kind of our ethos here. And so I would really love to donate this. And so if you have somebody that would love to have this Harmony 2814, send me a quick email at the address below and tell me why you think so. Give me kind of state their case. And I will select a nominee and they will get this guitar off to that person. And wrapping up now our Harmony 2814 project. Okay, well, now that we're saying goodbye to our Harmony 2814 project, it's time for another one. You know, at the Guitar Foster Parent, we go around and we find guitars that need new forever homes. And we source these guitars from a number of places. I visited collectors and purchased guitars, usually several at a time for a discount price from people that just like, I want this guitar out of here. I have too many. I don't have room to store them. Sometimes I'll go to guitar shows, swap meets. Sometimes people will give them to me or I'll buy them on the cheap. Guitars that sometimes they're broken, sometimes they're even parts. So what are we going to do next on the Guitar Foster Parent? Well, what happens when someone buys a brand new guitar, but they don't like the neck? Do they take it back? Well, not usually, because sometimes they like the guitar body and the electronics, but because of their style or the shape of their hands or just personal preference or even looks, they want a different neck. So they take the neck off the guitar and they sell it to guys like me. This right here is a brand new Fender Jazzmaster neck that was taken off of a guitar that was never played. The gentleman bought it, knew that he wanted a different shape of neck, and so he took this neck off and I bought it for a great price. This is a beautiful guitar neck. Let me hold it up to you. Look at the color of the fretboard. Just really nicely executed. Strat shape head, nice tuners, and of course we'll check these, but they're brand new, and I can tell you just by feeling of them, they still have the little plastic on the back here, the shipping plastic. I love the matte. You can tell this neck has been sanded matte, which gives it a kind of a silky feel, good for fast playing. And you can see the stamps here. This neck has never been played and it is gorgeous. But you can't play a guitar like this. So, what do you do when you think you're going to build a guitar out of parts and you decide that you don't really want to and you've moved on and you need a little extra money? Well, I found a gentleman over in Fort Worth, Texas, who had just such a project. Ibanez built a Strat-like guitar called the Gio, G-I-O. You may have seen these. There are a lot of people that really like them and some people that not so much, but Ibanez has been building really good electric guitars for many years, and this was what he sold me. This is an Ibanez Gio body. Okay? It's an interesting little project, and again, I got this for very little money because it was sitting in this guy's closet and he knew he was never going to do anything with it, and I thought, I have a great idea. Huh? Are you catching my vision? Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, this is going to be a much more involved project than the Harmony was. But let's have a look-see and just kind of wet our whistle on what we're going to do. Because on this project, because there's so much going on with this instrument, we have a lot of opportunity to do some fun custom type stuff. And for that, I'm going to need your input. If you will shoot me a message at my email address and just give me suggestions on what you might like to see, we'll see if you inspire me. That happened on the Harmony. A couple of times I got messages saying, hey, have you thought about this? And the input jack actually came from a listener suggestion from a viewer. Well, let's take a look at this body so you can kind of get an idea of what we're up against here. This body is in pretty rough shape. This guitar has been played and well loved, and you can tell because it's got all the typical signs of being played and well loved. There's lots of belt buckle marks, there's lots of dings, and lots of you can tell the neck that was on this guitar, which I don't have the original neck, but you can tell it's been on and off a few times, which is fine. The paint job, pretty rough shape. It's a kind of a metallic black, but it's going to be painted. We're going to paint this guitar. I will tell you, I have never painted a guitar before, ever. I don't know anything about the finishes. I don't know anything about the prep. I know how to paint, furniture and walls and things like that. So I'm going to be doing some learning. What color would you like to see this Ibanez Geo become? And we could even get a different pick guard. I'm pretty sure I'd be able to find a Geo pick guard in a number of colors. One idea that I've already gotten from someone that I really, really like, in fact, it's going to be hard to talk me out of it. They were thinking about like a denim, like a matte denim blue with like a kind of a matte texture on this guitar. They thought would look really killer with this kind of cinnamon brown on the fretboard, kind of the leather belt and jeans kind of look, which I thought was just a really neat idea. But you may have a totally different idea. What do you think? Let me know. As you can see, this guitar does have a tremolo, and it does have the Strat style saddles. We've got a humbucking pickup and 2 single coils, an arrangement here. We have a volume and tone only, okay, not 2 tones. So that's kind of interesting. For all these pickups, they're all driving on a single tone, and I'll have to look how the guitar is wired. This tone may only drive the humbucker. I'm not sure what it does, so we'll have to see how it's wired up. And then, of course, we do have a 5-way pickup switch. This is a standard Strat style pickup switch. The switch, I will tell you, at first feels pretty good. A lot of times these things you can tell they're wrecked. This one actually feels pretty solid. We'll see what kind of contact. These often, when they get dirty, need to be cleaned or replaced. But we'll get in there and look really good. I can tell looking on the inside of the, I don't know if you can see in there, in the humbucker pickup, it looks like there's been some beverage spilled in there. Or something, so that may not even work. I've never plugged this in, haven't put strings on it, never put a neck on it. I have no idea if it even works. The guy I bought it from said that all the electronics worked, but for the price, I really didn't, wasn't concerned whether they did or not, because I knew I was going to be doing a major overhaul on this Ibanez Geo. So, our next project on the Guitar Foster Parent, Ibanez Geo body, Fender Jazzmaster neck. And I will tell you, this neck, for my money, feels just wonderful. I can't wait to get this strung up and see how it feels. It really, really feels really nice. But you can see it's got the JM stamp for Jazzmaster. 2021 it says. So a 2021 produced Jazzmaster neck. Fretboard is just beautiful. It's going to be nice not to have to do fret work or oil this fretboard. It's just, I may get it a maintenance coat, but it really looks great. Even the nut looks pretty pristine. And it looks like this nut, they may have added some color to it to give it a vintage look. Not sure what they did there. But yeah, the other cool thing, the decals on this headstock have been removed. So we can also do some fun headstock stuff. Maybe we can do a Guitar Foster Parent on there or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, cool guitar. Really, really cool guitar. Very excited. And so let me know what you think if you have any ideas on how to take care of this baby here as we set it aside. This will be our next project on the Guitar Foster Parent. I'd always love to hear from you if you will shoot me a message at my email address. I'd love to chat with you, share ideas and suggestions. Also, I want to encourage you to please like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we do new videos. I'll tell you, we don't do them very often. I have a lot of other things going on in my life, and so videos are few and far between. I wish I had time to do them more often. But I would say once a month is probably as frequently as you'll get hit with new video content. Yeah, if you would subscribe, I'd sure appreciate it. That helps YouTube kind of promote us out there and get our message and mission out there. And of course, even though we haven't even put it together yet, and we don't even know what this guitar is really going to become, if you have an idea for somebody that might like a really unique, custom-built, Franken guitar, if you will, to borrow from, Van Halen, hey, look, Eddie Van Halen played his whole career and became famous playing a guitar that, he basically assembled from parts that he liked, and voila. If you'd like to nominate somebody for this one or for the Harmony, which is ready to roll out now, just let me know at john@guitarfosterparent.com. That's it. Between now and our next full episode, look for some YouTube shorts that'll be coming out. You'll find those if you subscribe. Those will come up. Because as I have ideas, I'm going to be cataloging those as I ask around to people I know. If they shoot me an interesting idea, I'll do a little YouTube short to kind of pass it along to you, and maybe you want to elaborate, or you might want to nix it or whatever and say, no, that's a terrible idea, don't do that. Whatever the case may be, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us today on the Guitar Foster Parent. Remember, the Harmony 2814 project guitar is ready for its forever home, so let me know if you'd like to nominate somebody. And next time, we'll get started on our first inspection of this Ibanez Geo project, and we'll call it something else because I have a feeling this is really not going to be a true Ibanez Geo when we're done with it. That's all for now. I'm John McLain. So grateful you've joined us. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on the Guitar Foster Parent. Bye-bye.